Hello to all my fireflies out there. My name is EJ, and this is my review of The Last of Us, a new series on HBO, which is an adaptation of the very popular game and its sequel, which is popular but way more controversial. Yeah, I am familiar with The Last of Us. I know about this, I know what I'm getting myself into, though all the twists and turns may come as a surprise to me. So join me as I break down episode 1 of The Last of Us. Usually for my recaps and my reviews, this section right here is my review. I'm just going to give my overall feelings, kind of give you a where are we going to go, where are my feelings at, and what do I think could be next. And then in the next section, I'm going to kind of go through, not scene by scene, because there's a lot of scenes in this episode, but I'm just going to kind of go through the biggest talking points, get us through, and see where we're going to be by the time episode 2 starts. There's a lot of goodies in this. There's a lot of great acting, great cinematography, some pretty strong writing. Now, I would say this premiere was a bit overhyped for me, and that's nothing against the show, that's just the fan base. Everyone was like, wow, what a powerful premiere episode, and it wasn't bad, but I was expecting more. There was not a lot of the Ellie character in this, and I know that's just going to be for you game people. Well, the game adaptation, I get it, but I was expecting a bit more of Ellie. She was in the episode, but she didn't have the oomph. She didn't have the oh my god factor I heard that she had. I was expecting, but on the other end, Pedro Pascal's Joel is a lot. There's a lot of great acting there. There's a lot of emotional weight. That intro was so heartbreaking. It felt a little bit like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, but it had a 28 Days Later vibe where you just felt the instant set of dread. I usually like seeing the start of a global pandemic, which I lived through, but the start of any apocalypse film, that beginning where you're like, oh shit, we are in it and it's going to get crazy. Those are usually things that work for me, and that's why this intro was so strong. Seeing the Sarah character, seeing where Joel is 20 years later, that 20-year time jump surprised the hell out of me. I knew there was going to be a time jump, but did not expect that big of a gap, and it really shows what Joel's character will be going through for the rest of the series. I know that there's some decisions this character makes, especially near the end of the game, that I don't personally agree with, but maybe the show will give me a different feeling, a different outcome, and going, oh, I see more of why he made these decisions. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but if you're familiar with pop culture, you cannot have missed The Last of Us mania when it was very popular. So yeah, this is my overall feelings. It's a strong start, not my favorite premiere of a television show I've ever seen. It's a good, strong opener that has a lot to offer with a lot of characters. I mean, we met so many people. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of this review section, and now let's jump into the recap. This episode basically had two openers. There was the 1968 cold open, which basically laid out the whole damn show. I have never loved the first 5 minutes of a TV show like this. It was just like, hey, here's everything you need. Here's information, retain this, because this is going to explain a lot of the fungi stuff. It doesn't give away everything, and there's going to be still things we find out, like, what's going on with Ellie's character about being immune, possibly. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I like this intro. I thought it was a really good, strong start. It's nice to have a show that goes, here's what's happening. I know there's a very bare minimum request, but shows these days are just like, let me thrust you into the world and you'll figure it out because that's prestige television. Now, girl, I need to be spoon-fed some information, and this was a perfect start. Having that one doctor explain the fungi stuff and just talking about pandemics and all that. It's funny how when this game came out, it was years before the 2020 craziness, and how much it still has a effect, when 2015 or whenever when the game came out, to what they're talking about now and what we've all lived through. A pretty strong opener, and it gave me such a cold feeling. And then we get into the Joel and Sarah intro. We are seeing a lot of the establishing stuff. This is when the outbreak first happened. We are in 2003, which plays a big part because there's a major, is this terrorist? Is this terrorism? You know, when shit starts going down. And I think I kind of forgot how much we thought that in 2003. Every time something crazy would happen, we would be like, it's another 9/11. Oh my God. It's interesting, and that played into this well. I can't believe 2003 is now like a period piece where I'm like, wow, reflecting on a time period 20 years ago. It makes me feel so old, and I'm going to have to go through like a crisis right now of my age. But yeah, truly, I liked this intro. I like the actress who played Sarah. And I mean, Pedro Pascal is Joel. He's so good. I felt him. And watching these two bond, and I kind of knew that. I was like, well, from what I know of the game, Sarah's not in the game. So what's going to happen? And I just kind of felt that happening. So every twist and turn, I was just like, oh God, when is it going to happen? And, Sarah's trying to get the watch fixed for her dad. She's trying to be nice to the neighborhood. She's just a typical, teenage girl. And then, things go crazy. Joel has to go out for the night to help his brother, I believe, Tommy. And Tommy, girl, once we get to 20-year jump, he's going to be a mess, and I'm not ready for him. Do not spoil how much I'm probably going to hate Tommy. But yeah, so Joel leaves to find Tommy, which leaves Sarah alone when the pandemic basically starts. We had seen earlier one older lady kind of do a twitchy thing in the background, a great shot, but now we're seeing the effects of that. Sarah goes to the next door neighbors. This old lady is just eating somebody, and I'm like, so we get zombies. I know we have these things called the clickers. I know there's a lot of different monsters here, so I liked seeing these first monsters, these first creatures. They really let you know everything about them. So when we see them later, it's going to give us a bit more, and maybe they're fleshed out in the 20 years. So Sarah's trying to escape all this. Joel finds her, and they try to run. They're trying to go. It's Tommy, Joel, and Sarah. They're almost out, and then they get stopped. And this is such a heartbreaking moment. Joel has Sarah in his arms, and he's just like, bro, we're just trying to go. And this military dude gets a call, and it seems like he says, kill them. And he shoots at them, and Joel tries to protect Sarah, and it's just, what happened. And right when Joel's about to get shot, Tommy comes in and shoots the military dude. I'm like, bro, 5 seconds too late. It's definitely one of those holy shit moments. Sarah is dead. Joel has no daughter. The damn watch that's going to be a crucial part to all of this. Wow, it's a solid opener. It made you feel it, and like I said, I like following the downfall of society here, and where we are 20 years later when we've had to build a whole new society. It's really cool. This intro was really strong and really made this opener and this whole episode as good as it was. Now, while that intro had a great first kill, I really liked seeing the damage, what's going to be done, but I also like the car scene. All of this is really good. So then when we jump 20 years into the future, the episode slows down a lot. We are meeting a lot of new characters. We're seeing where Joel is 20 years later. Pedro Pascal's all gray. We're in this weird post-apocalyptic society. We're all having to live in this shitty community, and then we have to throw dead bodies, and there's people doing experiments on children, and Joel's just throwing bodies into the damn fire. And we meet Tess, who is Joel's partner, I believe, who got her ass beat by some dudes, and I'm like, what's going on there? I don't already trust Tess. Once again, you game people, do not tell me who to not trust, who to trust. I don't know how I feel about her. So we're seeing a lot of Joel's life in this thing. He's a bit of an addict. The painkillers seem to be a very big thing in this, which makes me laugh because it's such a video game thing of if you pop a painkiller, you feel better. It's, the herbs back in Resident Evil. So I liked some of those weird game mechanics that I felt were somehow transitioned to the live action format. But Joel's in this environment. We're seeing what's happening, but we meet a new young character named Ellie. She drops F-bombs. She is into it. Bella Ramsey is a hell of an actress. If you knew her from Game of Thrones, she's everything. She's good here. I just felt like this intro is not the Ellie intro of the game, of the story, really. We're going to get way more of Ellie later on, but here she was a rambunctious teen who seems to have a lot going on, where people want to get her out of here. What can they do? There's the Fireflies, who seem to be labeled as a terrorist organization, but I feel like they might be the goodish people. Who knows? Everyone here is, I don't trust him. I don't trust Joel, and he's our main goddamn character. That's what I like about The Last of Us. It feels like this is a dirty, skeezy world where you don't know who to trust, don't know who's good. And I like that. It makes me invested to see all the twists and turns. Once you can easily predict, like, that's good, that's bad, that's good, that's bad, it's too boring. These murky gray characters make television to me a bit more interesting. In the second half of the episode, nearing the end, we do meet the leader of the Fireflies. She is badass. I believe she's the actress who was in the games as well. She's pretty cool, and she kind of says, look, here's what the hell's going to be happening. Joel, you need to take Ellie out of here. This is your mission. This is your job. Do what you can. And like, Tess is just like, Jinkies, bro, I don't know if I could do this, and they have to go take Ellie, and this already starts the chaos. If I was Joel, the 2 seconds that we got to do character building, like where he took a nap and they woke up, and there were some really good moments. These 2 actors seem like they're going to grow together so well and be the 2 people you want to deal with, be the people you want to follow in the show. So yeah, once they start on their adventure, the military dude who we met before, who is a skeevy, gross drug addict-y dude, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And Joel, that PTSD comes and kick his ass. He basically sees that Ellie is, her temperature's off, something's weird with her. She has a big bite here, but she's not infected. She ends up telling Tess in a couple minutes of like, hey, this is like 3 weeks old. What would have happened to me by now? I would have been dead. But this military dude's about to shoot them, and Joel says, I lived through this once, and just beats the hell out of him. Really, really solid stuff. Really impactful. You see where Joel's character is just in the hour and a half of television. I get who he is. I get his trauma. I get where he needs to go. Pretty damn good stuff. And that's kind of where the episode ends. We're seeing Tess, Ellie, and Joel start their mission, go on their way, and what's going to happen. Will Ellie tell them what the hell's going on? What's Joel going to do each and every time to protect her, to get crazier, and where are the more monsters? I like that one weird one we saw below that was all like fungus onto the wall. I love the fungus villain. I love how dark this world is. There's like public executions for being out too late and being in a quarantine zone and not being in one. It's a lot. This is a heavy universe with a lot of information thrown at us, but I can follow it. I like it. I can vibe with it. This actually makes me kind of want to play the video game more. I'm not a huge gamer, but I do appreciate what this game is, especially The Last of Us 2, which pissed off so many people. I cannot wait till they start adapting that. All right. Wow, what an episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, everyone, that is it for my review of the first episode of The Last of Us. If you did enjoy this review, I will be reviewing the whole season, but also a quick little preview. I will be reviewing Wolfpack, a new Teen Wolf spinoff that stars Sarah Michelle Gellar, so make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Oh, and if you're not following Flickering Myth, my other channel, girl, I post like 3 videos there a week. What are y'all doing? Get over there. Like, start following me over there. I post stuff here all the time, but still, come join me at Flickering Myth. What did you guys think of The Last of Us? What did you think of this review? Share your feelings down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did enjoy. All right, everyone, let's talk about The Last of Us in this wild premiere down below.